to Lila's Auction. Today we have articles and good routes to suit any taste of our assistants. As the first order of the day, the action rulers that are previously written in their manuals provided to the entry name. The first, respect the procedures of the action, in particular the obligation of that bids be made pursuant to these rulers of the action. For this purpose, the participant declares the now and accept. Enter the content of the rulers be now liable, also the rulers and judgment given to the effect.
Accepting the result of the action on the terms laid down in the rules of the action. The participants recognize that the rules of the action not attribute them any right to interrupt and delay or repeat the action. Third, the equipment provide computer and necessary media in order to participate with warrant in the action and as specified in the user manual.
4 point. In terms of articles of antiques is started the bid with $50,000 until there is a buyer. 5. Real estate auctions are started depending on the property and its location. 6. The third time is announced the first price offered to the auction will be cancelled from the article and continue with the next in the list.
Beautiful porcelain created by a sculptor of Venice, symbol of the love between the shared heirs of the ancient Mediterranean. The materials with which it was designed were extracted from the volcano of Haiti, what makes it lush and of historical value. The two sculpted young men formed a forbidden love story since their parents were rivals for the lands of King Midas. As a result of this rivalry, John decided to put an end to his life with the Mediterranean Sea after trying to escape together more than once. The bid of this porcelain starts with $50,000. Someone after some time more, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, 400,000 here, at 1, at the 2, at the 3, sold to the Lady Juana. Congratulations.
This sculpture was found in Greece in the middle of the last century. They are Acreusus and his twin brother, which fought the heritage for his father, finally dividing the land, staying with the Argos land. This sculpture symbolizes the union that the two brothers had before their and his father, time in which the kingdom was at peace, symbol of union and hope. It is one of the sculptures best carried for the history and the great history that lies beginning, led a magnificent taste of culture in any living room which is located. Bid from this beautiful sculpture start with $5,000. Something offer something more? Such $100,000. $200,000. 300 here. At 1, at 2, 2, 3. So, more Mr. Rodriguez, congratulations.
A sculpture designated in representation of the beautiful hellish, one of the characters more beautiful of the mythology, had a characteristic differentiated it from the rest of the Gorgons, since it was the only mortal and the more beautiful than her sisters. Her beauty was so great that he came to fall in love with Poseidon, who decided to seduce her in the temple of Athena. So great was the wrath of Athena to have learned from what happened in his temple. His immediate reaction was the punishing Medusa, with metal hands and sharp fangs and eyes that emitted a light such who looked at them directly was petrified. Non-complying with this punishment, Aphrodite was jealous of the beautiful hair that had Medusa, reasoned within the punishment was made that instead of hair available snakes. In this way, Medusa was banished to live in the Arctic lands. This beautiful sculpture begins the auction with $50,000. Someone offers something more? Was 250,000? Let us remember an historical value that contains. We have $500 for the right? Mr. Andrews, offer $600,000? 600 at 1, 600 at 2, 600 at 3. Sold to Mr. Andres. Good buying.
The next house to be auctioned is located in the of Cali. To it around the beautiful museums and park of the city, with 300 square meters consisting of a main room, the auxiliary rooms and beautiful garden, parking and large kitchen and beautiful living room. It contains a large free space on the backyard.
Bids from this house begin with $550,000. Who offers $650,000? $700,000? So the Lady Carmen with today wears a beautiful executive suite.
The first house to be auctioned is located in the beautiful city of Cartagena, close to the beautiful place with 600 square meters of space, composed of mother room, 3 auxiliary rooms, and beautiful garden, ample parking, a large kitchen, and beautiful living room. The garden is divided in two, an area on which you can install games for children or a barbecue.
The bids from this house begin with $250,000. Who offer $350,000 for this beautiful house? 500 to 1, 500 to 2, 500 to 3. Congratulations to the Miss Andrea of Bogotá that at present telephone.
This house was built in the year 1970. It was decorated inside with a medieval style. It has 250 square meters, 2 master bedrooms, 5 auxiliary rooms, 3 bathrooms, a living room spacious, and a courtyard in front of the house with beautiful rose plants. It is located in Panama City, close to the center and with great view to the city. This house is valued at $400 million. Who starts offering? The Lady Carmen started the bid. To the left, other $600 million. Who offered more? Mr. Andres offered $700 million. Who offers more? Miss Angie offered the $800 million. Mr. Andres offered the $900 million. $900 million at one. Who starts offering? Who offers more? Okay. $900 million as two. At three. The property is in the name of Mr. Andres. Congratulations.
Miss Juliana, as he feels that new house that won in the auction?
I am very happy. It's a beautiful house. I will go to Cartagena to live with my husband and my son next month. Miss Carmen, which he intend to do with their new lovers porcelain acquired and today in all auctions?
It is the best purchase that I could have done. She's really beautiful. I will put in a high and visible place in the room. Miss Andrea, plan to move to your new home or leave it only for a holiday?
It is a beautiful house and I would like to live at all is. But I have a stable job and not the far out.
Thank you.
Miss Carmen, which
The fields.
bid from the house begin with $550,000. Who offered $650,000? $700,000? So the tall Lady Carmen with we today were a beautiful
Executive.
executive.
Tiago, mira acá. Tiago,
Llega, mira. Di hola.
di hola. Sácate esa la boca. Di hola. Hola. No, hola. Sí. This house is valued at 4 points. In terms of articles of antiques, it is started the bid with $50,000. Until there is a buyer. 5. Real estate market.
Es que. Who offered for this beautiful house, 500 to 1, 500 to 2, 500 to 3.
In terms of articles,
500 to 1,
Such $100,000. $200,000. Second, accepting the result of the action on the terms laid down in the rules of the action. The participants recognize that the rules of the action not attribute them any right to interrupt and delay or repeat the action. Third, the equipment provides computer and necessary media in order to participate with warrants in the action, as specified in the
Congratulations to the Miss Andrea.
Upfront now at $1,600 for any advance at $1,600.
On Tuesday, February 19th, Swan Galleries is holding our African American Fine Art Auction. This is the third sale of our new African American Fine Art department. This sale really gives us the whole spectrum of the African American experience in fine art, ranging from Edward Bannister in the 19th century to contemporary artists working today like Faith Ringgold. So in addition to the familiar modern masters such as Jacob Lawrence and Romare Bearden, we have exceptional museum quality works in this auction of artists such as Hale Woodruff, Aaron Douglas, and Elizabeth Catlett. We've really seen great increase in the quality of material offered to us here at Swan Galleries, and this is only the third auction of a brand new department, and now we are seeing exceptional works, museum quality works coming to us from some fantastic private collections. It's really been a thrill and an honor to work with the collectors and to catalog and bring to the public's attention some of these great works. Some of the earliest works we have are very scarce. They're from the 19th century. Any works from this period are exceptionally rare, and in this auction we have over a dozen works. The earliest work in this sale is a still life painting by Charles Ethan Porter, a still life of apples. And then we have several exceptional landscapes by Bannister. And a beautiful small study of a Parisian park by Henry Ossawa-Tanner. Moving forward, as this catalog is organized historically, we have an incredibly wonderful, exciting discovery that represents the Harlem Renaissance. And this is Emperor Jones by Aaron Douglas, Lot 8. A gouache on board from 1926, signed and titled by the artist. Aaron Douglas, in the 1920s, was commissioned to illustrate the Eugene O'Neill play Emperor Jones, which was made famous by Paul Robeson in the starring role. And this is a beautiful drawing, a gouache that was a study for a series of woodcuts that Aaron Douglas did. He did a group of woodcuts that illustrated Emperor Jones, and they were later published in a theater journal from the period. This gouache is only one of two known studies for this important series. And this work comes to us from, of all places, England, where it was found in the estate of two important theater art supporters. The only other known work from this series that is unique, a study also in gouache, is found in the Amistad Research Center in New Orleans. Emperor Jones is one of his quintessential works in this style that really represents the Art Deco. Aaron Douglas was one of the first African-American artists who really looked back to the works of Africa, the sculpture and the tribal arts that Alain Locke, a philosopher of the time, a writer and a friend of Aaron Douglas, really issued a call to African-American artists in the Harlem Renaissance to look back to their roots in Africa. And this work incorporates African imagery and a beautiful sense of design with a stylized Art Deco sense. It's beautiful, it's graphic, and it's exceptionally modern, and you can't but help see the influence Aaron Douglas has had on other artists, such as Kara Walker today. It's very unusual to have 4 works of Aaron Douglas in one auction. Previously, in our last sale in February, we had 1 painting, and that was only the 2nd work of Aaron Douglas to come to auction. In this sale, we have 3 other paintings by Aaron Douglas, 2 works from the 1930s. One painting is a beautiful figurative study of a young man, and the other is a very special painting, one of the few known works from his travels to Haiti in 1938. And finally, lot 38 is Building More Stately Mansions, oil on canvas board, 1944. This painting is one of Aaron Douglas's best-known images, and we have found in a private collection purchased from the artist by a colleague at Fisk University this small easel-sized version. This is not just merely a copy, it's a small variation, a study where the artist was preparing to go to a larger scale, and one notices small changes and differences in this work. The larger version of this painting, normally at Fisk University, is now on tour in a major national retrospective. Building More Stately Mansions is really a culmination of the artist's modern vision. It has the stylization of his early work that we saw in Emperor Jones, but now it's a view of modernity and a view of the future, a vision for African Americans. African American artists often look to Paris, to the examples set by the modern painters there. They were also inspired by one of the few artists who was able to have great success there, Henry Asawa Tanner. Beginning in the 1930s and 40s, a few lucky African American artists were either able to gain through scholarships or winning prize money the chance, the passage to go to Paris. And we see in this sale some great early examples of works done in France by important African American painters. We have artists such as William Henry Johnson, who studied in Paris and then moved throughout Northern Europe in Denmark and Norway. We have 2 beautiful works by him, a very early woodcut, a self-portrait, signed and titled. We have a very modern painting by him, an exceptional oil, a beautiful still life. William Henry Johnson was an artist who lived in Paris, but also moved to the south of France, where artists such as Cézanne and Soutine had worked in the 30s. They were attracted to the light there, the inexpensive accommodations, and the freedoms there. And African American artists followed in their footsteps. William Henry Johnson was one. Also, later, Hale Woodruff and Palmer Hayden came to Paris and traveled throughout France. Some of the earliest works of Palmer Hayden in this sale date from the 1920s. Exceptional paintings from travels he made to the north, to the coast, where he did a sea landscape, a beautiful painting of the Bay of Biscay and schooners, or to the racetrack outside Paris. We have not only early works from Palmer Hayden and William Henry Johnson, we have a very scarce painting by Hale Woodruff. It is Lot 12, Woman by the Sea, an oil on canvas from 1930. And this is a wonderful painting by Hale Woodruff, such an early work. His works from this period are extremely scarce. We've only found 4 from this period. in other collections. And this is a wonderful example of him really incorporating the lessons he's learned from European modernism, from studying Cézanne and Picasso, and also from looking at African sculpture. And it stands in contrast to the later works that he did, the landscapes from Atlanta, or the abstract expressionist works, such as the Celestial Gate series he did after World War II in the 1950s and 60s.